Welcome to Caleb Can't Read. I'm Jordan Rabel.
I'm Caleb Terrence.
You hear that?
You're what? Okay, so we're not going to play it off? Okay.
There's a heat wave on. You're going to have to just fucking deal with it. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
To them?
To them.
To all probably less than 50 now? Listeners? Yeah, dude, it's supposed to get to like 110. And we don't do that in Portland, so we're going to be in a room here.
Is this our hottest one on record?
No, I'm pretty sure. Dude, I think that's either tomorrow or Monday.
I just meant the wave in general. I didn't. Okay, great.
No, Monday literally might be like
fantastic.
7 degrees over what's ever been recorded here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
God, I'm glad it's a hoax. Otherwise, this might really suck.
Just like.
Also, my dog is in here, and if you make a sound, I will put you to sleep so fucking fast.
She'll be okay. She's the best, worst dog ever. And we're not going to lock her out of the room with the AC. We're not doing that.
You don't get any of this.
There may be barking. There may be toenail clittering. I don't think anyone gives a shit.
She looks like she might be falling asleep, which is good.
Nobody that listens to us drunkenly go over dead authors is going to give a shit about AC noise in the background and maybe the dog making some noise.
Oh no, what's the sound of that? Loneliness? Well, you should be used to it.
That's a thing. That's not, I don't. However, I guess all that's going through my head right now is like it is kind of fitting we're about to go over somebody who was really into environmental issues.
This was all planned.
And if I start dogging on him, the irony will not be lost on me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Hang on.
What are you doing?
Just turning on a little extra light.
Oh, yeah.
For reading. All right.
Well.
Look at me with multiple lights in my room.
Should we do a recap?
Yeah, just a little one. So,
I mean, you're one-upping me. You got a room, but
this is the nicest box I have ever been in. How big was the fridge that this came in? This is incredible. So, last episode we talked about Edward Abbey, an environmental and naturalist writer who very much tried to go away from that title. He really just wanted to be a writer, not a naturalist writer, not an environmentalist writer. Unfortunately, all he cared about was his family. No, I'm kidding. All he cared about was nature and the environment.
That was good.
And
remember, he didn't care about that because remember when he was assigned, he didn't do his job.
That's true.
That was a whole
right.
Yeah.
All he liked was the environment and nature. He did
enjoyed,
not care. He enjoyed it.
Flexing about maybe I'm running with that a little too much. It is just one dude not liking and giving testimony.
He did not care for it, but he indeed, was present and he enjoyed it.
But I like to look at it when I'm stoned.
Yeah. But at this point, he's made, I think, about 5 novels at this point, and the only one that's really taken off is his latest, The Monkey Wrench Gang. As far as his fiction work goes. His, 3rd or 4th work was Desert Solitaire, and that was, that was big. That was... It's still regarded as one of the best environmentalist books to this day, and it is very funny. It's very good. So... let's get into it, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
We went over last episode the entire back and forth, balls to the wall crazy story that was the Monkey Wrench Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I was getting a little sauce by the end of that, my bad.
I just kind of assume it's your constant altered state.
I was just listening back on that. I was like, ooh, buddy, whoa, okay, maybe take about 20% down on the next episode there. We're not really coming on.
You know what? I was listening to it objectively, though, and as I was listening to it, I was like, okay, I know that he was drunk because he blinks his eyes one at a time when he's drunk.
God damn it, that's what everybody who knows me says.
Yeah. And so I can see you getting mad and you're just like, But it didn't pick up on that. I didn't really.
You got to look at his eyes, and if he's blinking weirdly, then watch your ass.
I mean, I think it's a safety thing. You've just always got one eye open, got one eye on these streets. So,
one wobbly eye.
Now, out in D.C. was a lobbyist named Dave who watched the United States Forest Service document and evaluate how much untouched forest there was in the United States for a project in 1979. The results of this was 36 million acres of land being greenlit for logging.
Okay.
Dave left Washington after that, knowing that the only thing that could help the environment at this point was direct action. There was just too much red tape in politics to get anything done. You know, by the time you have approved to, like, maybe save half of what they had greenlit, they're already taken off more than what they were offered. The next year in 1980, Dave started the environmental group Earth First with an exclamation point. And it's not like they're dumb enough to document what acts of sabotage they've done, but they have claimed responsibility for several acts of monkey wrenching that have caused damage to numerous construction sites. And remember, monkey wrenching came directly from the Monkey Wrench Gang book, meaning environmental sabotage.
Yeah.
On March 21st, 1981, Earth First unfurled a 300-foot sheet of black canvas from the top of the Glen Canyon Dam, mimicking its destruction from what the characters wanted in the Monkey Wrench Gang. The symbol for Earth First is also a stone hammer and a monkey wrench. But before all this, Ed managed to write yet another novel to piggyback off the success he was finding from the Monkey Wrench Gang. Published in 1980, Good News is about the future. The government has collapsed and everyone loves it, but there's a dictator that wants to bring it all back online, and that's all I really need to say about it, because yet again, the novel was a failure and nobody cared.
I'm a level with you, man. I don't know how well the government just collapsing suddenly would go. I mean,
honestly, I know a lot of people that are, like, extremely left and would be like, yeah, like, as a matter of fact, the extremely right people that I know are in that same wheelhouse. It's actually pretty cyclical, but they're just like, yeah, man, no government. And it's like, I don't know if you've thought this through.
I could have been on that team if we hadn't just gotten through 2020. I don't really feel like you can go through that, look at the way everyone around you is responding in, like, a shit time like that, and then have a good feeling about anything similar happening in the future.
Well, while I haven't seen
these people should they'll handle it fine.
Citizens aren't stupid enough to just mishandle everything like the politicians are.
Yeah,
politicians, as much as we don't like to think it, are people. They are mishandling things pretty fiercely.
Pretty horribly.
Yeah, I've never actually seen any of the Purge movies, but I know that their, like, prequel one that they came out with was basically the government created the Purge and everything. I feel like without the government, we would go pretty quick into the Purge on our own.
Every day is the Purge.
Kind of. Basically, the lesson we have for you today is, besides the Monkey Wrench Gang, you can steer clear of any other works of fiction that Edward Abbey has done. That's about it. Now, Caleb, I know you were rooting for them, but I'm sorry to say that after 4 long years of marriage, Ed's 4th wife, Renee, filed for divorce.
Oh, she left him.
Or was it 7 years? Or 2? Or 12?
That's a nice change.
It's hard to say, because these are all answers I've gotten online. I think that these are all answers Ed has given. I don't think he really knew how long she was, like, legally in the picture. Because if you'll remember, he married every wife that he had the same year he was getting divorced, and the answer for why they're getting divorced was always philandering.
Yeah, I think we already said this, but he's a weird dude. It's like, I don't get why somebody who will take a job where they're literally just going to be by themselves.
Yeah.
And then just when they get back into society, like, cannot fucking handle just, like, being single for a minute.
Yeah, I'm like, almost certain these are all answers he's given in interviews.
Yeah.
And frankly, I'm surprised.
I don't know who the fuck would ask him that. It's kind of rude.
I don't know, but, frankly, I'm surprised he even remembered her name. The official reason for them splitting up was that Ed was always gone for long periods of time. And this is just speculation, but I think that probably goes hand in hand with cheating as well. Like pretty much all the others, Ed met his 5th wife the same time he was divorcing his 4th.
Why doesn't he just do the responsible thing and just not be monogamous?
Not get married. Well, I have good news for you. Ed married Clark Cartwright in 1982. In 1980,
is that a lady named Clark?
It's a lady name. Yeah, it's a lady Clark.
Okay. I was like, okay, like,
yeah.
Is he swinging yet? Like, it's time to swing. It's time, brother.
You've gone through all the puss. You might as well start venturing outwards. Like, seriously.
It's time. Stop. You're like an established writer. It shouldn't be that hard for you to find somebody that's like, yeah, I'm cool with you sleeping around.
You know who I am now? I'm Edward Abbey, the writer. I've never heard of you. That's right.
How would you like to enter in an open relationship with me? Who the fuck are you? All right, next.
In 1983...
Just running down the bar.
Pretty much, goddamn. They ought to just have a fucking lottery for the guy.
Apparently he's got game. I mean, he's a douche. I've met several douches that had game.
I think it's the fact, though, that he's just an environmentalist douche, you know, as opposed to, like, playing Wonderwall at a party douche kind of thing,
I mean,
you know?
if he's got... Yeah, I don't know. Be fucking careful, man. If you build up too much of a track record doing that shit...
Well, who cares? There's no cell phones or internet going around that time. I mean, whatever.
Go to the next town. I mean, is this guy at least, like, newspaper worthy? Like...
I think a lot of the time he was banging tourists in Moab while he was stationed there.
If he keeps acting like that, like, for all he fucking knows, he'll just, like, wake up one day and then, you know, on the fucking paper, just, like, serial cheater douche environmentalist, man. Like...
It was a slow news day. Fuck it,
hey,
we'll
don't
run it.
date this guy. Like...
In 1983,
thing, huh?
he had a daughter named Rebecca. And in 1984, he went to the University of Arizona to teach creative writing. Remember, the guy whose only success so far has been his non-fiction essays in one fiction novel out of 6, and he wants to teach creative writing. Anyway, it's during his time teaching at the University of Arizona that Ed writes what he would call, quote, his fat masterpiece. It's not a woman. This is... He also had another kid...
I'm going to show you my fat masterpiece.
He also had another kid named Benjamin in 1987, but whatever. Dude, he never brought this kid up, I'm pretty sure. So during July...
Enter an open relationship, get a vasectomy.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah,
like, brother, there's a way to live this life you want responsibly.
Pull out.
Yeah. And that's always sketchy.
Sure. I feel like it's better than his old plan, which is his current. Like, whatever he's doing is not working.
You ever had anybody fucking latch on? Terrifying.
During July of that year, Abbey showed up to an Earth First conference as a guest speaker. Now, Ed was not a people person, but he made an exception when it came to people whom he felt were taking serious action against environment-raping conglomerates, man. Well, the thing is, Earth First had become pretty popular at this point.
Is he running this still while he's...
He's not running it, but okay. It was very clearly, like, inspired by him and his writings. Let's go ahead and turn that off. All right.
Drop it on down.
Yep. Right. No one heard that. That's fine.
Yeah, it's phone check. We forgot phone check. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's okay, Buster. Buster.
Go back to sleep.
All right, proceed. I think your voice is soothing her.
Well, the thing is...
Not like that. Definitely not like that.
So Earth First was having more members year after year, meaning having to do less and less illegal things. They have more eyes on them. A lot easier to dismantle construction equipment if there's only a few dozen people who know things. If there's only a few people who know about your operation, it's going to be, 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead, basically. A whole lot harder to show up at a construction site and have the cops already there when there's 100 people in the know, People talk. Well, there ended up being a splinter group from Earth First, a fraction that felt not enough was being done to protect the environment as Earth First was starting to slow things down. So Ed, as one of these guest speakers, gets in front of all these Earth First guys, and all of a sudden he's getting heckled.
Oh, shit.
There's people who say he's a shill for making money off of his environmental writings, and he's part of the problem when it comes to the tourists because his writings
shill
are
for
drawing
making money and you fucked my girlfriend. You ass.
And his writings are drawing attention to these places. But the biggest insult to him was calling him a racist. You see, Ed wasn't against immigration, he was against immigration, legal or illegal, didn't matter. That was his biggest subject. He did not like people immigrating at all.
Oh, dear.
And it sounds a lot like he's picking on immigrants coming to America, but to Ed...
Homie, this is not the country to argue that in. It's just fucking not. Like...
But to Ed...
You have no grounds here.
The biggest problem was the destruction of the environment come from housing developments and dams being built to provide electricity for these housing developments and trees being cut down to build those housing developments. You see, He wasn't a racist. He was just a dumbass. Those things would still be happening due to any population growth of any kind. But, I mean, I get what he's saying. He was a definite sexist more than anything, though. Like,
dude, my thing, and I brought it up last episode too, is just like, it's so fucking hypocritical of him to like have that attitude when he's just fucking popping out kids. Like, really, you're that fucking concerned? Like, no, you're not. Shut up. Like,
I wonder how many of these kids he actually was around to name. Like,
maybe he just had like, he probably just had like a little wheel that he spun for names. With like 30 of them on there. He's like, it probably won't be that many.
Throwing a beer can at a board, just, Johnny. Either way.
Let's name you after your mother. Clark.
What was her name? Either way, newspapers got wind of this little spat at the Earth First meeting and started smearing the group and all their members, saying that it was an organization consisting of eco-terrorists and racists, because they picked up after somebody yelling it out.
Oh, yeah, dude, there's no blood in the water. Yeah, like, totally. like, ha-ha!
Soon after this, the more radical members of Earth First, the ones starting shit at the meeting, started their own group, called the Earth Liberation Front, or ELF, in 1992. If there was ever a question if you could deem Earth First an eco-terrorist group before, the answer was hell yes.
We're starting Earth First with guns.
Yeah, pretty much. To put it in perspective, the biggest trouble Earth First got into was like in 1990 when the FBI guided their hands to cut some cables to a water pump and arrested 4 of their members, including founder David Foreman.
A water pump?
Yeah.
Like, was it...
It was for the city or something.
Was it hooked up to the CEO of Nestle's house or something? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's pretty tame, right? And I mean, the FBI definitely guided them to do it, too. Like, they wanted to get them in as much trouble as they could.
The FBI?
And it was really lame. They would never.
No, surely not.
The ELF, on the other hand, are responsible for millions of dollars worth of arsons, ranging from mansions to radio towers to laboratories.
That's pretty sick.
If I remember correctly, when I looked it up, they have an actual kill count. Like,
oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in 1988, Edward Abbey finally releases that fat masterpiece he'd been working on while teaching at the University of Arizona. I know I was shitting on all his works of fiction besides the Monkey Wrench Gang before, but this work was definitely semi-autobiographical, as a lot of locations came from Abbey's experiences firsthand.
Oh, no. Did he do the confession on accident thing?
Kind of.
Oh.
So...
yeah, he's stupid.
I think it kind of stands out from his other works. Released by Henry Holt & Company in 1988, this is Edward Abbey's The Fool's Progress. This is the story of Henry Lightcap, a middle-aged and recently separated man.
That's him, right?
I mean...
Just say
it.
Yes.
Yeah, it absolutely
don't dick around.
is.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this goes kind of... This kind of goes the same way as Osamu Dazai writing No Longer Human. Like, if you read through The Fool's Progress, it is just an autobiography. It's how I got a lot of answers for his early life. It was for sure a thing that was happening. Like, he did this.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah. The tale begins with him, alone in his home, growing angrier by the hum of his refrigerator cutting into his silence. Possibly drunk, Henry takes his revolver and puts 6 shots into the fridge, and thinks about how it all could have gone so wrong with Elaine.
Possibly drunk? Possibly drunk. Okay.
You know, that shooting feeling that you get when you're not drunk.
You've got that shooting feeling with me before. It's great.
He thinks back to the time Elaine experimented with Japanese food, and he was doing his best to grin and bear having to eat things like tofu and kelp. Quote, "Those little nips are ingenious people," I said. "Sony, Datsun, Toyota, Kawasaki, Honda, Kamikaze, Harikari, Seppuku, Pearl Harbor, the creeping kudzu vine. How can we ever thank them?"
Persang! No, dude, what?
Not a racist, remember?
Okay, no, he had to know that was like...
Yeah.
He could have just said...
Oh, he's...
Like,
had he been around these days, he would be wearing a shirt that had the words snowflake on it that are just like calling people out. Like, "I ain't no goddamn snowflake. You're a snow," you know, like he for sure would have been one of those people. He would be on Facebook right now sharing shitty memes. Absolutely.
No, those people are fucking crack up, dude. Because it's like, yes, there are some people that take this a little far, but usually people are just like, hey, that's kind of fucked up. Maybe you should adjust that. And then they're like, you fucking snowflake!
Yeah.
Or just like, hey,
which is funny because they're the ones that are the most upset.
Yeah. They fucking flip out at the slightest criticism when you're like, hey, man, no, you're factually wrong. And they're like, fuck you! And you're like, whoa, dude.
They're just fighting back the tears in their eyes not to cry. They're just got like a fucking thing, a skull in their fucking cheeks, and they're just like got their jeans tucked into their fucking docks, and they're just like,
don't you tell me how to think. You get out of my head. We're going over basic addition. Homie. Like,
there are a number of stories kind of like this though, where God, does he try not to be an ass but completely fails at it.
He's a middle-aged guy at this point. I mean, isn't that?
Yeah. I mean,
that's par for the course.
He's kind of getting up there in age at this point. Is that what that expression
means? I shouldn't use that.
Par for the course?
Yeah.
Nobody watches golf. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares.
Apparently a bunch of people golf.
No, they fucking don't.
They do.
It's not even real.
People look at me weird when I tell them
CGI.
I don't play golf.
It's bullshit.
I'm sorry, we're tangenting.
And as Henry starts to trace back the
golf
stories...
isn't real.
I'll prove it. As Henry starts to trace back the stories of his childhood, you get the sense that this is actually just an autobiography with the names changed.
Yeah.
From the mother that plays piano while the children go to bed, to the father that refuses to pray before a meal because it means he'd be lowering himself before a higher power, it sounds a lot like Ed's parents.
Is this a source you used for the whole beginning of his life? Was just
not completely.
Oh, okay.
No, but there were. I mean, like...
I was like, well, if we present it that way, then yes, Jordan.
No. No, I was collaborating with other sources. I mean, like, I went over his official website and everything. Like, it's...
Yeah, I collaborated with, what's that one terrorist group?
Or not collaborate, but corroborate. But yeah. Don't corrupt me.
Ooh. I'll caress you.
I'm a fat
I'll caress your fat masterpiece.
One of my favorite stories from Henry's childhood is when he's talking about his baseball team from when he was young, and there was like this all-star hitter from another team. They're playing against them, and when this all-star kid goes up to bat, he like kisses the crucifix he's wearing, does the whole, spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch thing. And when the ball gets pitched, one of Henry's teammates like, fuck the Pope! And he misses.
Oh man, I don't know if it...
What?
I kind of want to tangent off about, that reminded me of the one dude I used to work with who would do the little crossy poo prayer.
Oh, did he?
Before
Signum Crucis. What did he?
He'd fucking like
a fucking character out of a Steven Spielberg World War II movie.
we might need to edit this out. Is that cool? Because I don't know if it's gonna fit. When I was learning how to climb and like getting trained, and I was working under this one guy who was just like aging and getting like a bit too big and not taking care of himself. So he was like hating climbing, but he was like never fucking admitting it, right?
Yeah.
And so he would like convince people to go up under the guise of like, it's training, when in actuality it was extremely difficult and very dangerous, and he should have been the one doing it because he had the experience, right?
Yeah, but he's too old.
So I'd be like up in the tree, like climbing, and be like, here, man, is this where you want me to take it? And be like, yes, you're good. Don't worry about it. I'd be like, okay, face here, you got the tag on it, you're gonna pull it through? He's like, yeah, don't worry, everything's fine, Mijo, don't worry. I'd be like, okay, cool. I'd like fire my saw up and start going to the backpack, and then he'd pull out the cross and kiss it and shit and do the cross thing, and I'd be like, whoa. Why the fuck are you praying? You said I was good. And don't worry, Mijo, you're fine. I'd be like, dude, like,
hey, start digging.
Start digging.
Well, when Henry's done reminiscing, he decides it's time to head out west to start all over. He calls his work, tells them he's going to be out for the next 4 months, cuts the phone line, leaves a note for Elaine telling her to sell the place, considers poisoning the dog, but instead brings them with him, and takes off.
Looking at you, Buster.
Yeah.
That's right. Next week, you mine.
Henry goes to the bank to try and withdraw his last dollar from his bank account, but unfortunately there's a $5 fee, so instead he grabs a potato from his truck bed.
So instead a potato falls out of the ATM.
He puts it in the bank manager car's tailpipe. It's just an asshole thing. Like, I don't run this place.
I wasn't the one who was irresponsible with my finances.
It's my goddamn dollar, snowflake. Hey, fuck you, dude.
You can just ask me for $5. Like,
I will literally lend it to you. Now, I don't know if any of Edward Abbey's brothers went into the army, but in Fool's Progress, Henry's brother did. So I don't know if Ed was just making shit up here, but there's a pretty lengthy story told about the Battle of Monte Cassino. It sounds like he at least heard a first-hand account from somewhere. And yeah, I don't know if you remember about how fucked up that battle was from our Walter Miller episode.
Oh, is that that's the
bad
one, right?
Yeah, it sounds like he got his information right in it. So, like, I don't think he was a part of it. I don't know if his brother was necessarily a part of it for sure, but, like, he was getting a first-hand account from somebody.
That was a big operation. There's probably a lot of dudes involved in that, so it's really not off the table.
There's unfortunately not a lot of people still around from it either. I mean, it didn't last very long either. It was...
Yeah. There's a little bit of spice there.
Anyway. Just don't go to fucking war, guys. Don't sign up.
Oh, man.
College is not worth it.
It's that simple, guys. Just love each other. It's that uncomplicated. Absolutely.
I get down to suck dicks every day from my congressman.
Yeah, just peace and love and listening to fucking John Lennon. That's what you need. That's all you need is love. Absolutely. Yeah, isn't that fucking...
my teeth are gritting.
That's cringing in your fucking gooch, isn't it? That's deep.
Oh my god, my attack boner is getting so hard right now. My fight or fuck response is just kicking right in.
Put that fat masterpiece away.
And eventually Henry Lightcap gets drafted too, just like Ed did. And if the accounts told in Fool's Progress are true, we get a little insight into maybe why Ed was demoted in the army. 'Cause he's a fucking smartass. He would question the ethics of orders to his superiors until their face turned blue. It always was dumb shit too, like, Private Lightcap, what is the soldier's most important duty? To salute, sir. Like, you fuck, you know? Like, And of course, Henry seems to also fall into the same issues Ed has when it comes to his marital conflicts. Namely, Henry doesn't think, when his wife gets pregnant, that the kid is his, which hopefully Ed isn't projecting too much when it comes to Henry Lightcap's life.
Oh, we're insecure
Jesus
and
Christ,
cheating. Nice.
Though it would explain why, if it's true, he may have missed his own son's birth. Yeah. And I mean, there are a lot of...
Not for a good reason, probably for, like, being at the bar reason, right?
I mean, that's honestly... Yeah, I mean,
I was at the strip club for my first child's birth. Like...
Well, for his first kid, he very likely could have not been for his first kid's birth because he went and picked up this job in, like, Moab. So he just didn't give a shit. He was just like, this isn't that important, and just fucking leaves. Like, you know?
Jesus, man.
Yeah. And I mean, there are a lot of failed relationships in this book. I feel like he's always chalking it up to misunderstandings, and it just feels like something Ed would say. I mean, just like Edward Abbey himself, Henry Lightcap is an insufferable asshole. One of quote-unquote Henry's wives asked him to stop pissing in the bathtub. Please use the toilet. According to Henry, toilets are built for Puerto Ricans. He's too goddamn tall.
Can confirm.
He's too goddamn tall for the toilet. It creates splashback on the walls. Okay.
Clean it up, man.
Then sit down.
Clean up. Everybody gets the triple stream sometimes. It's okay. You just clean it.
No, because sitting on the toilet is for women and Hindus.
Motherfucker, but I pay the rent or the mortgage. If I want to sit on the fucking toilet, I'm going to sit on the fucking toilet.
But it's okay, because he only likes to piss off the porch anyway. That'd be fine if it meant the backyard or something. But the motherfucker is pissing in full view of the street. There's like a bus stop in front of his house.
The porch is pretty great. Well, I'm house sitting for you next week. I'm going to be hitting that.
Go piss off the deck in the back.
No, yeah, exactly.
Well, he won't do that. He won't do that. I mean, I do it.
I love it.
He doesn't do that, though. He likes to only piss in view of his front yard.
Something about dick in the free air.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it sways in the breeze or anything. I mean,
no. The pubes do. But...
It's a magical forest. I see the little, what I assume are gnomes in there that go, hee, and start crawling around.
That was weak.
I ran out of shampoo. But, you know, I just can't get over that, though. Like, stop pissing in the bathtub. No.
No, you can't tell me. You can't tell me what to do.
I'm too tall for the toilet. Sit down. No. Sitting down's for women and Hindus. Like, God damn it, dude.
I like how he adds the extra spice on it. You know what I mean?
Like he could have just said that he could
for
have
women
left
and
it
Hindus. What the fuck are you talking about?
He could have literally left it at "I'm too tall for the toilet." Instead, he was like, "No, it's got to be those small Puerto Ricans that are like what?"
You know, I bet his wife was just like, you know what, whatever. At least he didn't passive aggressively shit in the back. Like,
I wouldn't put it fucking past him, honestly.
Just get him a funnel. Just stand it up.
Good idea. Good idea, Henry. This is your
rinsing it out in the shower.
This is your crusty funnel just for you. Like,
this is your deuce.
I just see a fucking bobbin in the bathroom, like just in the toilet, just don't.
Have to jam it in there. I designed him a shit funnel, homie.
Oh Christ. Anyway,
I mean, yeah, I get shitting in the woods is the ultimate, and he was an outdoorsman, so I guess. But yeah, don't be just
fucking use a toilet.
I mean, the woods is the best if you have the option. But...
Yeah, he doesn't though.
Oh yeah. He's got a backyard.
He refuses.
Sorry,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know why I'm sorry. Excuse me, sir.
You know,
I'm going to blame the heat.
Sure.
All right.
Sure. Puerto Rican. But you know, while he is
it doesn't get this hot there.
I don't use a toilet.
And I've never been.
You keep using my toilets. Fucking. Anyway, you know, while he is an unbearable prick, though, I think this is just Ed's upbringing. In Fool's Progress, there's a point where Henry Lightcap visits his brother Will, who lives just like he does. When Henry asks Will why he doesn't have a bathroom, Will says if he has a toilet, the city will dictate his plumbing. Then they'll force him to maintain a septic tank. And all this is just going to cost money.
Yes.
It's much cheaper to just shit in the woods. And you know, something tells me this is just how Edward Abbey was raised.
Yeah.
Like, I totally can see that. Especially with Paul just being like, Paul, we need a bathroom. Ain't nobody here having baths. Like, rinse the bacon grease out of that fucking wash bin. It's time for my shower. Like, it's just disgusting. Christ.
Save the grease.
I gotta slick my hair.
Making soap from my own waste.
Fucking, they invented composting. Now, there are definitely things in here that
you can't invent composting. It's just composting.
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
I'll invent trash and recycling, too. Don't make me.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry.
There are definitely things in here that are embellishments of, or like works of fiction in here, but there is one part in Fool's Progress that seems strangely mundane for an Edward Abbey novel. Henry Lightcap discovers he has a form of pancreatic cancer and reflects a bit on how he's going to spend the remaining 6 months of his life. He does so by having a sort of impromptu family reunion with two of his brothers before reuniting with his daughter, who's all grown up.
Oh, I'm surprised, actually.
And the story ends with Henry spending his last remaining days horseback riding with her. We'll come back to that. Now, as far as themes go, I'd say it's a bit difficult to pinpoint here.
I like how he wrote in...
a happy ending?
No. He wrote in that's what's actually important, and then he finally realized that, but then in his own life did not.
Well, yeah. Well, no, we'll kind of get back onto that.
We're gonna end this walk hard.
You know, I know nothing else about the movie except that's what I'd say every time I had to get up and do a presentation in school. Just walk hard.
that was your talking. I believe you did that.
Because I always had a boner.
Oh yeah. Did you ever get a boner? Did I ever class? Did you get tension boners?
Wait.
Like a nervous... what? You ever get a nervous boner?
No, I wasn't nervous. I did it on purpose. I was slapping him under the desk come on, be impressive. Be impressive.
Come on.
I mean, work of fiction as this might be, I really don't think The Fool's Progress quite is one. You don't go looking for themes in autobiographies, but I would say, with how Abbey decided to end the book that's essentially his life, that there's a definite theme of remorse here. Not like Henry Lightcap or, hell, even Edward Abbey would ever apologize to someone, but even though the ending was technically a happy one, the writing was just so fucking sad. I really got the sense that Abbey wanted to apologize to everyone he hurt, but the only way he could do that was through fiction. What really makes Fool's Progress more of a true story than anything, though, is that ending. As it turns out, Abbey's lifelong heavy drinking left him with what was called liver cirrhosis. Basically, your liver stops functioning properly and you start becoming really bloated. This can result in your veins getting all stretched out and can cause internal bleeding. Spot check.
Proceed. I want to get past this. Make me nervous.
Ed took this all pretty seriously and started writing out his last wishes and letters and started sending them out to close confidants. He didn't want time for the he didn't want time for the law to step in when he passed and forced him to get embalmed or cremated. Instead, he wanted his body zipped up in a sleeping bag, put in the bed of a pickup truck, and buried in the desert to help fertilize the plant life. The sooner, the better. He said if there was a ceremony that speeches were not desired, but if someone wanted to say something, not to interfere.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I mean, I've requested that several people grab my body and then just feed me through a wood chipper directly into the Hoyt Arboretum.
Yeah, no, actually, that's why I started on this guy, was because I knew how...
You're just little parts caught in the corner.
Yeah, you make it seem like
it's jamming it in there with a rake, like, fuck!
The way that you did your onomatopoeias made it sound like we're throwing you in pieces, which I enjoy the, like, just, why did you have to cut him up? Like, look, I was interested. I figured, why not? But basically, if people wanted to say something during a ceremony, just to keep the speeches simple and brief, what he did want was gunfire, bagpipe music, singing, dancing, lovemaking, and a flood of beer and wine.
That's a joke, right?
No.
He wasn't joking.
When asked his final words, he said, no comment. And actually... So the whole reason I even delved into this was because I knew Edward Abbey's works. I'd read a couple of his books, but like basically, when I always knew how Edward Abbey died or how he was buried was like that, just out in the wilderness, and it immediately made me think of you. So I decided to research him because I'm like, oh, this sounds just like what Caleb wants.
No. Leave him under the tree. It's what he would want.
Your fucking eyeball is going to be hanging from fucking... There's going to be kids walking by as we're feeding you through a shredder, just...
Do we leave him? We'll get the gear.
We got $50 for his gear down in a pawn shop. The guy that would ultimately carry out his wishes, and the inspiration to the character George Washington Hayduke III, a guy named Doug, says that on the day he revealed the future burial site to Ed was the last time in his life that he smiled. On March 14th, 1989, Edward Abbey died due to complications from surgery. His last 4 days alive, he struggled to breathe while blood flooded his esophagus. He died in his home in Tucson, Arizona at the age of 62. The day he died,
damn it, dude,
his wishes were carried out. Oh, you were just... Okay.
No, that sucks.
Yeah, no, that's pretty...
That's 7 off from the goal.
His friend Doug got 3 other guys to help him wrap Ed in a sleeping bag, pack it full of dry ice, and load him into a Chevy pickup. After stopping at a liquor store for beer and whiskey, the 4 men spent the entire next day looking for the perfect spot to bury Ed in the Cabeza Prieta desert of Arizona. That means they spent the night with his corpse. Anyway, the 4 men found the perfect spot, buried Ed, poured whiskey on his grave, and left. They carved a sort of headstone out of a rock near the site. Edward Paul Abbey, 1927 to 1989. No comment.
Where's the grave at?
We don't know. Oh. We only know the general site, which is like 100 square miles.
I got time.
Yeah. Later that month...
Actually, no, I fucking don't.
No, fuck that. That is a stupid goal. Later that month, the party Ed wanted was thrown in Saguaro National Park between about 200 people, with a much larger one being thrown in May outside of Arches National Park. We're not done yet, motherfucker. 1990, in Ed's last year of life, he wrote the much-awaited sequel to the Monkey Wrench Gang called Hayduke Lives, with an exclamation point.
Ooh, here we fucking go. I'm coming in hot. I'm ready.
He didn't have a chance to revise his novel before his death, and publishing company Little Brown kept it that way when the book finally released on January 25th, 1990, 4 days before what would have been Ed's 63rd birthday and less than a year after his death. Because it went unedited, you can see how Edward Abbey wrote his first drafts, with odd dialogue and funny little descriptions that had no real place in the novel. For the longest time, I had a really hard time because just out of nowhere, there's a really tense scene, and I felt like he wrote his first draft with just kind of little jokes to himself and shit in there. And so there'd be they heard the lighting of a fuse, they heard a man cough, a horse fart. And it fucking destroyed me. I don't know why.
It's like, what, man?
So, without further ado, here's Hayduke Lives! The book begins with a day in the life of a simple desert turtle. Quote, Old Man Turtle ambles along the deer path, seeking breakfast. A strand of wild rice grass dangles from his pincer-like beak. His small, wise, droll, red-rimmed eyes look side to side, bright and wary and shrewd.
Shifty-eyed little tortoise.
Smoking a joint. He walks on long, leathery legs, fully extended from the walnut-colored hump of shell. The ventral skid plate clear of the sand. But then, something comes along the turtle's path. Quote, He feels a dim vibration in the crust of the earth. The ground trembles. Again, the wind veers. Again, he smells the harsh, violent odor of something unknown and alien to this world. Something huge and yellow, blunt-nosed, glass-eyed, grilled-faced, with a mandible of shining metal, looms suddenly, gigantically, behind the old desert turtle. Too late, the turtle turns aside from the ancient path. Too late, he searches for the sanctuary of overhanging ledge. Glancing back over his shell one last time, the old turtle sees the billow of advancing earth, the flat, blunt snout of yellow steel blotting half the sky.
Fuck, bud, we get it.
What is this thing? What shall we call the creature dimly seen within its veil of dust and smoke? It is the giant earth mover, Goliath, the gem of Arizona. Huh?
Ugh, shut the fuck up. Jesus, man.
Basically, here's the whole story without all the extra shit. Bishop Love, the villain from the Monkey Wrench Gang, has once again sold out desert land, this time for Goliath, gem of the Southwest, the world's largest walking excavator, here to dig the canyon... Yeah, it walks. Somehow... Okay, I don't understand.
That's so stupid.
I know, because here's the thing. For some reason, always back then, the future of things was like, oh, it's like a tank, but now it has legs, and it's like, how do you not see that as worse than it having tracks?
The future of technology is overcomplicating it for no fucking reason.
It's better with tracks. Literally giving it legs is so much worse.
Give it the tracks.
Just give it tracks. It's fucking stupid.
Look, the military would have their shit walking if it worked.
Yeah.
It's not... No.
Well, the Goliath, gem of the Southwest, is here to dig the canyons dry till it finds
Turtle Killer 9000.
It wants all the uranium. Eventually...
Is that where you get the uranium?
It's under the ground. I mean,
yeah, I didn't know it was... Does it have to be, like, deserty, tortoisey ground, or...
Dude, I don't fucking know. For the research of this, I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
It'd probably be kind of dangerous if we knew it and broadcasted that, actually. Never mind.
No, it isn't.
I don't know, man.
Don't go out looking for uranium. You're looking to glow? Like, you're going to fucking die.
Is that a thing? Can you stumble upon uranium?
It's hard. It's very far under the earth.
I have many dumb questions.
You don't stumble upon it. Go on, let's hear them.
Oh, just goddamn it, no.
Eventually, the old Monkey Wrench Gang gets back together and drives Goliath off a cliff. There really isn't much building up to it. Throughout the rest of Hayduke Lives Yeah, because here's the thing. Throughout the entirety of Hayduke Lives is a string of chapters that
Did he write instructions on how to operate the walking bulldozer off the cliff?
No, because it's fiction. Fuck yourself.
I'm just curious. That's all.
No, throughout the entire book, though, it's just a bunch of chapters that feel plain experimental. There's a dream sequence, a whole chapter written as a stream of consciousness. It just felt like Abbey was trying to hit the word count sometimes, you know? And it's not even a large book. You know what it felt like he was trying to do? He was trying to remake Jonathan Troy, his first book, with all these quote-unquote unique chapters. Like, it felt like he was trying to make up for it, and he kind of doesn't.
He turned it into like an almost sci-fi type deal?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's weird. It's misplaced. Now, this is a hell of an odd book for sure. I believe Edward Abbey even admitted he hadn't had time to revise the novel before his death, and to me, it shows. By no means is it poorly written. Ed shows that he never lost his prose. But if his other fiction besides the Monkey Wrench Gang is written like this, then I see why they all failed. Hayduke Lives is all over the fucking place. Honestly, this book would have probably been better as a collection of short stories. Most of the book has nothing to do with the plot. None of it comes into play. No decisions made by any main characters that further the story. Nothing. All the side plots are completely meaningless. I'd say there's probably 100 pages that actually detail the main plot out of 350, but no more than that.
Alright.
To me, this was Edward Abbey's last chance to say something, and he knew it. In my opinion, this was his ideal world made manifest. Every woman is hypersexualized, and every guy is so fucking horned up, I'm surprised none of the characters came in their pants while they were walking from the goddamn friction. But above all, everyone follows Ed's philosophy. So much so...
The chafe. That's all I can think about when he said that.
All the characters in this follow Ed's philosophy so much that not only are the characters of the Monkey Wrench Gang revered among the public like saints, but the book, The Monkey Wrench Gang, by Edward Abbey, is owned by multiple characters in Hayduke Lives. Like, it was a journalistic piece or something in their world, and everyone owns it, everyone loves it, and everyone has it, you know? Now, like I said before, this book barely focuses on the gang itself, or rather, they seem to be pasted into certain stories to make the chapter seem more relevant.
It seems to me like it's just somehow worse Fern Gully just because it doesn't have Tim Curry.
Oh, dude, I love Fern Gully so much, man. Holy shit, man. I saw that fucking high one time, and that fucking, the oil monster thing. Oh, I was losing my shit. I loved it. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's great.
Was that Tim Curry?
It's fucking Tim Curry, man.
Oh,
it's
I fucking love it.
Mwah.
Wasn't Robin Williams
I'll sit through the whole movie
Bat?
for Tim Curry and that shit.
Wasn't he the Bat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, he raps. It's
what's
really
his
bad.
name? Haxum or something? I think his name was Haxum, and it sounds like Exxon.
No, it's Batty. Because that movie
No,
sucks.
not the Bat's name. I mean the villain. His name is like Haxum or something. Or
something awesome. He's just like a rad sludge monster.
The animation is so fucking cool. I love the shit out of that. I mean, I only remember his scenes, but still.
And you watch it back as an adult, and you're like, wow, he's really going to town on that exhaust pipe.
I remember that movie. I remember that movie better than I do Avatar. Like, the fucking blue alien movie.
It has
same message.
I am gonna have to be like busting that out sometime, like somebody running up. What are you doing to the tree? I'm hazard pruning it. Stop running up to me like I'm Tim Curry in Fern Gully. Okay, it's fine.
They're gonna walk away because they're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's out of his goddamn mind. What the fuck is he talking about?"
Yeah, a little bit.
What is wrong with you? I'm Tim Curry. Okay, man. Hey,
I'm Tim Curry. Oh shit!
I think he has a gun. Call the cops. But what Hayduke Lives largely focuses on is Earth First, the actual organization. I don't think it's a coincidence that the title of the book and the way Earth First spell their name both end with an exclamation point. Like, that was just him trying to, like, draw the parallel.
I mean,
that much
homie
more.
liked exclamation points and infidelity. Yeah. What can I say? He's a simple man. He liked to shit in the woods.
I like to shit in the woods, and I like to...
What you got? What you got? Come on.
No,
come
I'm
on.
a bad improv.
Yeah, it's not.
I like to.
It's not improv. It's just shooting the shit. Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm so sorry I pushed you to that. I deeply regret doing that. That was my fault. That was my fault, and I'm sorry.
You did this.
I did, man.
Now remember.
Can I still have my spankings?
You haven't earned them yet. Now remember, the Monkey Wrench Gang inspired Earth First into being in the first place. And it seems to me that Ed is very fucking proud of that fact. Sure, they're represented as being a little kooky in the novel, but hey, they're eco-terrorists. A title they're proud of. Terrorism to them is not a bad word so long as eco is in front of it. Also, remember that it's been like 15 years since Earth First was established, and at this point, they very quickly fractured into different groups because of differing ideologies. But Ed tries to fix this with a list of rules he announces like it's the 10 fucking commandments. Quote, "The ecology warrior hurts no living thing, absolutely never, and he avoids capture, passing all costs onto them, the enemy. The point of his work is to increase their costs, nudge them towards net loss, bankruptcy, forcing them to withdraw and retreat from their invasion of our public lands, our wilderness, our native and primordial home." It goes on for a bit.
I'm game. Let's go.
Yeah, but I mean...
Oh, you didn't even write it down.
Oh, no. Fuck no. But here's the thing. There are no fucking rules. Not to protesting or terrorism. This is just something Ed thought would fix things like, hey, I'm gonna die soon. Sure hope you guys get your shit together. Like, of course they fucking wouldn't. It felt like he was hoping to be a martyr for the cause, like eco-terrorists would just unite over his death again or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to dream.
It's nice to hope. I mean,
Yeah,
for as far as he knew, he was like, yeah, everyone, like, like, ELF are some really hardcore motherfuckers, though. I don't think any of them picked up Hey Duke Lives. Like, hey, let's see if we're in this. You know, like, I think that they were fully into.
They were like, no, fuck you, it's made of paper.
At this point. You know, like, yeah, it's a fair point. Like, it's not even on my fucking Kindle.
They're like, you kidding me? No, this is a mass distributed book. This is absolutely against our shit.
Yeah, it's really that's true.
This can only travel by word of mouth.
Everyone's like just reciting "Hey Duke Lives" to the fucking president of the ELF, like the fucking
it's like 4 guys
people
that
at the end of
memorized
Fahrenheit 451. They're just like, all right, like, hey, I'm Terry. I'm the guy who memorized chapter 3. So look, I've been going back and forth with my girlfriend on this. Did you want voices or no voices? Because like, I've been working on a couple.
Be kind of fun. Oh shit! Oh god! Hang on a second. Oh god! Don't speak. My ear itched, and you know, if you take the bit off, and then the echo hits it, and it's all weird, you know.
I just grabbed the microphone and fucking scream. Just
no. So I just, did something weirder. Fuck me. God damn it. Okay.
I'll fuck you. The book was a mild success. Those that read it were happy to see some of their favorite characters come back 15 years after their debut. The book, or more specifically the cover, would go on to get someone in trouble a little over 10 years after its release.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, pause it.
Pause it?
Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, I don't need to count.
I count.
It seems official. I don't fucking... And we're back.
Yeah, that was fucking pointless. I thought that the book cover that I have is not the cover I was thinking of.
I was like, this is just a canyon. What happened to that canyon? Jesus.
Doesn't it look like a pair of tits? Isn't that funny? No.
You got in big trouble for the titty canyon.
No, but the later editions that were mass produced after that, I guess after the first edition, is little flex there. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, what was mass produced afterwards was this cover. Go ahead and explain this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It says Hey Duke Lives, a novel by the author of the Monkey Wrench Gang, and it's it's probably some site that I don't know, but it's some barren looking cliffs in the background, some rocky poos, and then it's a big old fist holding up some dynamite with a timer on it that is gold rimmed for some reason.
These are Looney Tune rules. Basically, though,
that's pretty good, though.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so the thing is my dad has always loved national parks. My parents both took me to a whole bunch of nature sites and shit when I was a kid, because here was their misguided thought. They're like, okay, we're poor, but you know what's free? Going out and seeing some sights and stuff. And our kid can really enjoy it. Boy, I did not give a fuck. Do you know how many
Don't take kids to do that shit if they don't want to. If
dude,
they're not there yet in their head, they're not going to get it, and they're just going to drag.
The Game Boy just came out. No fucking way.
And then it's going to take years upon years upon years for them to get over how dumb they were about not appreciating it, and then slowly go back into looking at it now, and
That's
then enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't do. My parents said that shit too. I fucking hated every time they fucking took me out to go look at shit. I just wanted to fucking catch Pokemon.
Exactly. Do you remember any of those sites even?
Stone Mountain.
I remember the governor.
Actually.
Is that what it's called?
We grew up in very different places.
No, yeah, true. Yosemite though, the big.
I've never been to Yosemite.
See, here's the thing. I remember seeing that big fucking mountain and being like, "Wow," and then everything else out.
Yeah, it's a big fucking mountain.
I know I've seen Old Faithful and everything else because my dad tells me I have. I didn't remember shit. No fucking way. I remember Devil's Postpile too. That's about it though. And so, anyways. My dad was really into
Actually,
Edward
Stone
Abbey.
Mountain was pretty fucking sick. My bad. Thank you, Mom.
Where is that?
It's in I want to say it's in
Georgia,
Atlanta,
Florida.
Georgia, but it's in Georgia for sure. I mean, I lived in Atlanta and it wasn't a long drive, so yes, Atlanta.
Now I have to spend the money to go back to all these fucking places.
It's the one with the... I'm going to pause again before I say something stupid. Wait, we were recording the whole time, actually.
Oh, were we?
I think so, yeah. That's what the little dot means, right?
I don't know. Shit. All right, well, go for it.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to fucking spout that off unless I was right. But yeah, no, Stone Mountain has a Confederate memorial carved into the fucking side of it in Atlanta, Georgia.
They have a Confederate memorial.
Yeah, you don't know about Stone Mountain?
It?
Yeah, no, it's now it's a big bare rock because they didn't keep people on the trails. It used to be completely covered. Now it's like stripped really badly. Okay. And there's like little trains that can take you up there and shit, or like, the little wiry sky car bits like what we have to OHSU and shit.
Dude, I don't go outside. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know.
The ball thingies that go back and forth on the wire.
A gondola?
Sure.
Yeah, it's called a gondola.
Yeah, whatever. And yeah, they got those boys, or you can just take the path, and that shit's actually,
okay, pretty cool.
They should probably do something about that carving. like, holy fuck! I'm surprised nobody. Well, no, that'd be huge. And I'm not advising anyone to do that officially on the podcast. Like, as far as like defacing Confederate monuments and shit goes, like that's kind of like.
Hey, new Caleb can't read challenge. Go to face a Confederate monument. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I was correct. I was correct. That is how that is.
Well, basically, out of all of this, what I was trying to say.
No, we're not going to talk about institutionalized racism. Is that don't worry about it. This makes me feel uncomfortable.
My dad was really into Edward Abbey because of Monkey Wrench Gang and Desert Solitaire, and he even tried to get through.
Your dad?
He tried to get into Hey Duke Lives, and he couldn't do it because it's not good. But like, basically, I got into Edward Abbey when I was a kid from my dad, and basically, he alerted me to this one article, like pretty much right after 9/11 happened. There was this article, and he was like, holy shit, I know this, Jordan, come here, and we were taking a look at it. Basically, there was a guy who was going to the airport to pick up his mom from like her gate or whatever, and he's in there, and while he's waiting, he's reading Hey Duke Lives with the big, stick of dynamite, the hand clutching the sticks of dynamite thing. And he gets stopped by like TSA agents, and they're like, hey, and they like take him into an interrogation room and are fucking interrogating him. They flip through the book themselves, and it's just like, you guys are fucking idiots. It's just a book. So they're like, well, you can't come in here with that book. And he's like, all right, fine. You know what? Fuck it. And so he's got time. He goes back home, and he comes back with the Prisoner of Azkaban. And they did not like that. And so they like kicked him out of the airport, and like,
nice. I'm assuming this is pre 9/11.
No, this was right after 9/11, which is why they.
Oh man, my bad. Did you say that already?
Yeah,
no, but solid dad move though.
Yeah.
Respect.
It's still funny.
Respect.
So, this isn't the only time. Oh, hang on a second.
Damn. Okay, do you want me to actually pause this time?
No. This should be quick.
What you got? Is it emergency? Is it
no.
time?
No. I mean, I saw that Nicole was contacting me about a dog, but don't worry about it.
About a dog?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
What kind of dog? Was it a blue heeler? No. Hey, so while he's preoccupied, so one day Jordan hit me up to let me know that he was picking up Buster, who's right next to us and has been a very good girl, and he let me know that he had just picked up a blue heeler puppy. And then when he brought it over to my house, I informed him that was in fact a 6-month-old rat terrier.
So,
I love this.
This isn't the only time that Hey Duke has gotten someone in trouble beyond the fourth wall besides that guy at the airport. On April 19th, 1982, a 16-inch gun turret from the USS Iowa exploded, killing 47 people.
I'm sorry, back up.
Yeah.
Back up, I ADD'd out. Can you back up a couple sentences there?
But this isn't the only time that Hey Duke has gotten someone in trouble beyond the fourth wall, besides that guy in the airport who had Hey Duke Lives. On April 19th, 1982, a 16-inch gun turret from the USS Iowa exploded, killing 47 people.
I did hear it right, my bad.
Yeah,
go on.
The turret was overpacked with gunpowder under suspected sabotage. The investigations were deemed inconclusive, and as far as I could tell, no one was formally charged. But one of the main suspects had a prank book in his locker called Getting Even by anonymous prank author George Hey Duke, named after Abbey's character.
I loaded the turret with too much gunpowder, pranked you! What the fuck?
Some of the prank books in George Hey Duke's bibliography include Don't Get Mad, Get Even, The Big Book of Revenge, The Second Amendment Revenge Book, Hey Duke's Guide to Getting the Gun Grabbers, The Big Book of Revenge, 200 dirty tricks for those who are serious about getting even. Bite Me, Hayduke's Guide to Computer-Generated Revenge. Revenge is sweet. Dozens of wicked ways to have the last laugh. Silent but deadly. More homemade silencers from Hayduke the Master.
Ooh, we are digging deeper.
Yeah, like a lot of these are just really fucking... He's got 2 different books about how to make homemade silencers. Like, Jesus Christ.
Just Murph.
Well, regardless of how Edward Abbey has screwed over people of the past,
yeah, he did that shit.
Both when he was alive and dead, you can be sure that some hippie teenager will always be inspired by his works to go above and beyond his classmates, monkey-wrenching equipment and committing mass felonies, making Edward Abbey proud. My sources today, Desert Solitaire, last episode too, Desert Solitaire by Edward Abbey, Random House Publishing. I think this edition is either from 2019 or 2020, not too sure on that. The Monkey Wrench Gang by Edward Abbey, Avon Books, 1976. Hayduke Lives by Edward Abbey, Little Brown and Company, first edition, 1990. The Fool's Progress by Edward Abbey, Henry Holt and Company, Inc., first edition, 1988. AbbeyWeb.net, and Wikipedia. Hell yeah.
Yeah. That went quick.
Yeah, it was all right.
An hour in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts? What do you think about this guy?
Quite a few, actually. I mean, okay, so for one, like, yeah, we're dogging on this guy. You know, we've gone after him and like his general like character and everything, but I don't want anybody to get the vibe that like me and you aren't like, dude, we're sitting in a fucking like horrendous fucking heat wave right now. Last year around this time, the only reason it wasn't that fucking bad is because there was fires that were clogging up the fucking sky so much.
Blotting out the sun.
They were blotting out the fucking sun, and none of us could fucking breathe, and we were all in a mad scramble to get air filters out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Or air purifiers, my bad. So, like, that's not, like, what? Don't take that message and us, just going over some shit to dog on him about it and be funny as, like, yeah, no, environmentalism is bullshit, and you shouldn't take that seriously, especially as, like, right now.
Right.
When shit is very apparent. Like, and I mean, as extreme as those responses and things may have seemed at the time,
look at where we are.
It's just kind of like, man, like, well, if we need a place to live where the environment isn't just going to be trying to kill us, and we have been asking nicely, or trying to pass some kind of legislation or restriction, and it's not happening, it's only going to be a matter of time before people are going to have to start putting forth those fucking measures. Because it's like going fucking vegan, and just watching like or driving a fucking car with a hybrid battery isn't. It's not going to cut it when people with a fuck ton of money are just like devastating everything around us.
Yeah,
like
remember that whole thing with how everybody started switching out their straws from
like,
going from
plastic
that'll
to
fucking
do it. Like, yeah, no, it's not accountability for people who are actually literally destroying the air.
Yeah, there are companies that are absolutely demolishing anything that they can. I want to say, was it BP that just got the sign off to like basically just drill for oil on the edge of the reef?
We're sorry.
And it's like, yeah, it's pretty much going to come out where like, oh, look at that, the reef is somehow dying. We didn't see that coming at all. Like
it happens every time.
Yeah, the environment's just going to be fucking dead. It's gone.
It's as far as the oil shit goes, as far as I know, it's really just that it's a super old established big money industry that people can't fuck with because most people put into power are funded by them, right?
Yeah. But you know what?
I mean, I wish I could like say this more articulately, but like I don't.
Yeah, look, I mean, all I'm going to say is so people who are actually that have like actual Spotify accounts and everything, I was just goofing around it because it like the Spotify tells us some interesting things about our like listener base and everything. Mm-hmm. We have a pretty good demographic of people that listen to Led Zeppelin, Eminem, and Taylor Swift. Odd, but also for all you 28 to 34-year-old ladies, may I say, hey, also
you're married. I might as well be.
Don't say that on the fucking podcast.
This is my escape.
But hey, for those of you that were in the younger demographic, you can't go to jail. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not saying do anything. I'm just saying.
You absolutely can. You absolutely can. It will follow you.
No. It's juvie ain't no biggie.
You might take a biggie, homie.
Anyway, next week
we are absolutely not condoning that. What the fuck, Jordan?
No, I'm not condoning anything. All
Why
I'm saying
don't bring children into it? You fucking psychopath.
I never thought that you'd say that about this particular thing. Well, look, next week we're going to have our season finale here. It'll be a 1-episode author, and God damn it, it is a doozy.
We're gonna be bringing in somebody.
We're gonna bring somebody in because you've already listened to the information twice.
It's spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, you were tatered at the end of the first one, and we were like, do you want to go do it a second time? And you were like, I don't remember all of it.
And then we're like trying to go over it, and it's like the same.
Yeah,
like I'm like trying to go over jokes. I remember kind of in responses, and we're both just very dry and horrible because we can't just read.
It went over worse than our Holocaust episodes. But yeah, hey, you can visit us on Twitter.
Twitter?
At Caleb.
Do you even post anything on that?
I do. Yeah.
What have you been posting?
Hey, our episode's up.
I don't follow us on Twitter.
We're at Caleb Can't Read.
Because I'm lame as shit. I don't know.
CalebCan'tRead.com. You can go on there and, I don't know, look at stuff. Well, hey, see you later.
Alrighty. I mean, I have more opinions, but...
No, fuck your opinions.
Alright, yeah.